All right, we are talking about marketing in a recession and specifically how your website plays a vital role in this. This is something that has come up multiple times when talking with clients and trying to find new ways, not even new ways, but just better ways to leverage a website as a whole, and just really the role that it plays in a lot of marketing efforts. So let's start with this. I'm going to go on to the next slide here. Are we heading for a recession? I'm not an economist. This is not financial advice. And to be honest, I'm not sure. I think that there are warning signs out there, but ultimately, I don't think we're going to know for another 6 to 12 months at least. If you are talking to business owners, you'll notice in a lot of industries and a lot of places in the country, sales cycles are getting longer, and it's taking longer for invoices to get paid from existing clients. I know for a fact in my own business, in a few key industries, there are delinquent invoices that previously, for the last 4 years, 5 years, there's never been a late payment, and now it's becoming more and more frequent in some certain industries. A lot of stuff inside of construction, specifically in the northern U.S., companies in Florida or Texas, they don't really have those issues right now just because so many people are moving to them. They're very red hot economies. Those places are probably going to be fine, but I think for a lot of the country and probably a lot of the world, this is the case right here. It is taking longer for things to get done. And I know for a fact sales cycles have gotten significantly longer. Back when I was a freelancer in 2018, 2019, early 2020, in 2019 and 2020 specifically, we were basically sending off proposals sight unseen. People were signing them, and then we were working on new projects. Like, we had zero sales calls. We had zero sales process. Our pricing was pretty reasonable at that as well. At the time, I mean, we were still quoting anywhere between like $3,000 and $5,000 for a website. So that's enough to warrant a sales call, but ultimately we were just sending those off. They were getting signed, and we had zero problems with that, which is crazy to think about because we can't do the same thing today. That just doesn't exist today. It is extremely rare. I don't think we've signed a single proposal this year without one or multiple sales calls. Things are definitely taking longer, and then our sales cycle has actually almost more than doubled in the last few months, especially. A lot of the deals that we're closing are from 9 months ago. It is taking longer and getting more expensive to close deals. Interest rates are higher. Borrowing is expensive. This is obviously, if you watch the Federal Reserve, they are raising their rates pretty consistently. It is getting expensive to borrow. Mortgage rates are above 7% in most markets, and it is getting tougher to borrow. You were able to leverage really cheap debt, really just a year and a half ago. Not the case today. So now that pressure is getting tighter on businesses. They don't have the credit lines that they used to have. In addition, another thing that we've seen is that even just getting business credit cards are a lot harder than what they used to be. So they are tightening on some stuff all around. And I know I've talked to a few business owners where their credit lines have been decreased as well. So a lot of banks are taking risk out of their system as best as they can and getting that sealed up. Now, here's the thing, though. The labor market remains strong in a lot of places. There's a lot of open jobs that still have yet to be filled. So do I think we're heading for a full-blown recession? I don't think anything like 2008 or anything like that is going to happen. But it is definitely getting tighter. Those jobs aren't getting filled just because a lot of them are entry level. A lot of them aren't paying enough. Really, it's a pain to be a business right now in this economy. It is getting pretty tough. So what does this actually mean for your marketing, and how does your website play a role in this? So market sophistication will continue to rise. There's going to need to be more touch points. A lot of the deals that we're closing are requiring a lot of touch points. Now, sophistication, when I say sophistication, this is something that's really hot to talk about right now on LinkedIn, on Twitter, where people are saying, you need to have content everywhere. People are researching this, and this is true. This is very true. But I think this idea of market sophistication, at least as we know it right now, is partially because of a tightening economy. I think that if we were in 2017, 2018, 2019, and early 2020, this would not be a conversation right now. Those landing pages with a VSL would still be doing great and just be ripping just fine. And that's totally fine. But ultimately, as the market continues to be tough, sophistication is going to continue to rise. So landing pages are not going to cut it for an entire business. And the reason for that is the first point right here, sophistication. You see that right there. That's the reason. Landing pages just aren't going to do it. The reason being is because people want to see everything that you do. They want to see that you are a respectable business. They want to see research and insights that you've done, what your clients are seeing. Basically, they want to know what's up in your industry, what's new in your industry, what services do you offer. I'll go into all that, all the different types of content that you should probably have on your website. So anyway, like I said, a VSL, a few testimonials, they're not going to cut it. People want to see some real meat. They really do. They want to see insights. They want to see sophistication inside of your own market. They want you. They really want you to be knowledgeable on the topic. Where a VSL, anyone can throw together a nice looking VSL with some help with ChatGPT and, get a few insights from there. Your website needs to have all your services. It needs to have your process. It needs to have past projects, blogs, testimonials, etc., etc. It needs to have all that. Basically, you need to turn it into a content hub. So if you're running a YouTube channel, on top of your other marketing efforts, whether, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're on Instagram, whatever, your website should connect all that. Your YouTube videos should be on your website. You should have all that stuff in one place. People want to see all that stuff in one place. If they see it on other platforms, that's great as well. If they find you on YouTube and then they come to your website and then they also see your YouTube's on there, that's fine. No one's going to care. And in addition, that's going to help out with SEO efforts down the road if you have everything you can on your website. Now, who's looking at your website? Really, it's everyone. If you're running cold email, for example, we get about 800 hits a week, I believe is the number right now. 800 hits a week from our cold email efforts. Basically, everyone that's getting a cold email from us is looking at our website. It's not everyone. It's like 20%, but still, it's a significant portion of people. In a lot of ways, that's a little bit of interest right there. They took the time to go to your website, which I know that doesn't take very long. You just copy paste the URL into your search bar and it's going to come up. But still, there's a little bit of interest there. If you're running a blog on your website, specifically SEO related, that's going to be driving people and impressions to your website. If you're using print advertising, believe it or not, like if you're running a billboard, there's a lot of billboards here in Tampa, right? A lot of them are lawyers. They have, their phone number on there and they have their website. Hate to say it, but I'm not going to remember the phone number. I'm going to remember the website though. I might Google the company name. Ultimately, if you're using print advertising, they're looking at your website. If you are leveraging social media, we get a few hundred additional hits a month from Twitter alone. If I was more active on other social media platforms, it'd probably be the same thing there. If you're running any sort of cold ads, of course, they're coming to your website. Even if you're running them to a landing page, a lot of people are going to look for a full website. I know that there's been several times where I've clicked on a cold ad and I get, put into a squeeze funnel or a landing page or, click funnels of some sort. My first instinct before I fill anything out, and I know that everyone buys differently, but the first thing I do is I start Googling the company. Do they have an actual website where I can actually see the stuff that they're talking about here? If they don't, I'm most likely not even going to bother filling out this stuff. It's probably a waste of my time, and I can probably find someone that appears to be more knowledgeable. That's the key. You have to appear more knowledgeable than the competition. So, recession, market sophistication, I believe retargeting could become everything. I think that this could be really a thing that is a hot topic over the next 6 to 12 months if a full-blown recession were to occur. The reason being is retargeting is very cheap. It's affordable. Almost any business can do it. You can put a Facebook pixel, a Google pixel, LinkedIn pixel, and then retarget that traffic that came onto your website. So that way, ultimately, you can stay top of mind. You got to have more touch points with these prospects. You have to stay top of mind. So I believe that could be a very hot topic. And the thing is, the only way you're going to do that is if you have a web presence up and running. If you don't have a web presence, if you don't have a good website, ultimately it's going to be futile. You're not going to get very far with it. But if you have a good website with great content on it, you're going to go a lot further. it's going to be a lot cheaper than running cold traffic. It's going to be much more efficient. It probably makes sense for a lot of businesses to start leveraging. So, well, really, that's everything. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. If you guys want a free website audit, that's exactly what we do. I'll have that link in the description below. Hope that this was helpful. Other than that, my name is Cameron with Driven Media. Appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you later.